at all my plan, but I think it's clear. I think, it's I remember when we met at Tempelhof, there was absolutely no problem to go from one topic to another with you. So I'm very much looking forward to start. You will let us know, like, right, when we are live.
Mm-hmm.
I am not sure if we are already visible on social media. Let's still wait a second just to get confirmation that we are not talking to an empty room. Okay, I guess we can start. Can anybody see us or hear us on Facebook or on YouTube? Please give us some sign of presence out there in the universe. Just to be sure that we are not talking to anybody. Anyway, I will start. Welcome to my next Sofa Talk. Sofa Talks are the meetings between MRG, Minority Rights Group International, and some incredible minority person. It's always a woman. It's always a person that inspired me by her work or by her art or by her music, really depending on the meeting. This time I have with me Maria Ochir-Goryaeva. Thanks for joining us today.
Good day.
I met Maria some time ago, and I thought that this is a perfect timing to introduce the topic of different indigenous group of Russia into the public space. With the 10 years of war going on between Ukraine and Russia, and with this outbreak 2 years ago, there is more and more in media about Russia, and less, if it's even possible, about different parts of the country and different indigenous groups. I find it very problematic. I think it is very important to talk about this huge country with 40 million people, where such a big part of it are actually not ethnic Russians, who might have not agreeing with decisions taken by the country, and in general with the situation of economy, climate, education, all of this. So when I met Maria, I thought that she's not only a very interesting person professionally, because she's an archaeologist, a doctor of historical sciences, an author, but she's also a human rights defender right now, traveling from country to country to talk about different minority groups of Russia. And well, how little do we know about this huge country? Maria, you are from Kalmykia. could we start with just putting us on the map? Where is it? What is this place? We have to remember that we might be watched by people from all over the world who have no idea, who never heard this name of the place. Where is Kalmykia?
Republic of Kalmykia is one of the 21 republics in Russian Federation. Official in law, all republics are the subjects of Russian Federation. But in reality, the republics are, de facto, they are colonies of Russian Federation, or better to say, empire. And Kalmykia is between Black and Caspian Sea. From east, we connected on the shore of the Volga River. South line border of Republic is shore of Caspian Sea, and this is not so small territorium, 75.9 square thousand square kilometer, and this is the same like a Czech Republic or almost Austria, but when in Czech living 11 million people, in our republic living 270,000 people. So we have a vast territory, but a small population.
And how does it look like in terms of religion and ethnic groups?
Our Kalmyk are Buddhists from Tibetan school, and
it's the only region where Buddhism is the main religion, right?
This is our main religion, and I could say the all population believes the Buddhism. This is our also ethnic identity. This is part of our ethnic identity. About our republic, I'd like to say so that we have a very long summer, very hot summer. From April till October, we have 28 sunny days. So our republic not only very big, also very, very sunny, and the very short winter and very long, warm, sometimes very hot summer.
And how did it happen that Kalmyks are in this place? Can you tell us a little bit of the history?
Yes, the Kalmyks, actually our ethnic name is Oirat people. And Oirat are the West Mongols. And in 17th century, the West Mongols, our ancestral land is the West Mongolia and a part of Xinjiang Autonomous District of the China. This is northwest part of China. So from this, our homeland, Oirats migrated in the South Siberia, and then more in west direction, and they came in on the Volga and founded their own Khaganate. This Khaganate has a name Torgout because of the most dynasty, Han dynasty, were Torgut. But Russians named us Kalmyk because take this name from Turic language, which is so negative name of this people. Turic meaning with this word that we are not Muslim and we are not Turic Mongols speaking. So it was meaning some kind of not developed or like this. But nevertheless, historical, this name is always became traditional, and we planning our republic, independent state, name the Oirat Kalmykia because of most of population not ready to refuse this name. Kelmic, so within Oirats and Kelmics at the same time.
Can we go back to your childhood and how Kalmykia looked like at that time? Did you speak with your parents in Kalmyk or in Russian? How did the people talk with each other?
I could say that I had a very, very happy childhood because it was a big family because of where our family and family of brother of my father were lived in two houses with a common yard and common garden, and we have our grandmother and grandfather, the parents of my father, and so common we were 9 children, so it was our own kindergarten. So we speak only our Kelmic language. I could not speak Russian really until school. And before school, we have all Kelmic children. We visit 2 months school and learn Russian. Because of course we could say a lot of words in Russian, for example, apple or candies and so on. But we could not speak whole sentences. But so I learned Russian. But till when my daughter was 5, is died my grandmother. So till time we always speak Kelmic because our grandmother didn't understand Russian really.
And
it was.
Go on, please.
Yeah. It's my childhood was characterized of very good close connection with nature. We were in the steppe a lot because of my father was cattle breeder, and we visit him in the steppes and living there at the summer. And my grandfather was also he was some organization which was also in the steppe. We live alone with grandmother and grandfather in the steppe. All summer I was in the steppe. So what why I like so much my steppe is part of our identity.
Now I understand why you like so much the territory of Tempelhof Airport in Berlin. This might remind you of the steppe a little bit.
Yes, I think this is good, big luck for me because of my husband told me always, you are a very brave girl, so God sent you the piece of your native steppe land, so I can visit every day.
From little Maria walking on the steppes, you became an internationally recognized archaeologist, receiving different scholarships to travel abroad and do your work. How did your story with archaeology started?
When I was at school, I thought which profession I will choose. And I decided to be historian because of history is universal. Everything in the world has a history. But after first year, I have a practice in archaeological expedition, and it was my thing. Yeah. After this, I was so good in expedition, so was sent to the St. Petersburg University to make special study of archaeology. And it was very hard years in Petersburg because of it was very difficult for me. Nevertheless, I graduated from St. Petersburg University as a best student. And after this, I get the course for 3 years. I write my doctor with big passion and interest. I write my doctor work and became get the doctor title. Yeah. And after this, I come back to Kalmykia and was had a lot of projects, rescue excavations, which was connected to construction works and construction projects like channels and roads and a big water reservoir and so on. And so I working very, very hard on many in these rescue excavations, but every time I never forget about research, and I write research works. And one day I win the prize of European Academy for Young Scientists. So I became a little bit famous. And after this, it was always a lot of grants and projects which I get from international foundations. And I come to Germany as a fellow from very famous Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. And I write my first monography in German. And after this, I was learn my husband, future husband, and I stay in Germany. So I am living 24 years already in Germany. And continue to work in my homeland and make every year I make big excavations and projects. 4 months of my year I spent in Kalmykia. But after beginning the aggression war, I told not I don't want to work with aggressor state, and I finished my research work and became the political activist.
I guess it was not easy for you to receive all these international scholarships and opportunities. Just thinking about different activists in Russia having problems because of cooperation with international organizations.
Yeah, just now, no new field for me. This activism and political field. This is a new one, new for me, and I am zero in this field. So it is difficult for me get some financing for my activity, for my group, for Kalmyk movement, national movement. Just now, this is really actual problem for us all, because of we are not so developed movement like a Moscow opposition elite. So we are the children and grandchildren from very poor population from Russian colonies. And our parents have no to give us financial background, and we also but we must be brave, and we get. I think I will give my best.
I wouldn't agree with you saying that you are so new and that you are so small in all of this, because I know you are speaking on different conferences and you are becoming the voice of all the different nations. Maybe let's give our listeners still a bit of an overview of Russia, the biggest country of the world with 17 million square kilometers, but so many different ethnic, religious, and linguistic groups. Could you tell us a little bit about them?
Yes, Russia is really very big state, but as I told already, in Russia, there are 21 national republics which have some kind of statehood. As a republic, we have government, we have parliament own, we have also coat of arms, and we have hymn and flag. So we have all signs of the statehood, but we have no, we are not independent. And there is also 4 autonomic regions in Russia, which together republics and autonomic regions, this is 44% of the territorium of Russia. And we have also commonly in more than 100 ethnicities in Russia. And if 21 republics and 4 regions, but other more than 70 ethnicities, they are real ethnical minorities. They living also on the territorium of the same republics. They are in lists of UN lists, and so people total the number of the non-Russians is maybe more than 20 million. But in our republic lives a lot of Russians and other nations and ethnic minorities. So together with more than 30 million people. So because the world society and the Western politicians always think this Russia is this only ethnic Russians, Christianities, white people. But in actually, there are Christianity and Buddhists and Muslims. And we speaking a lot of languages different, which belong to in the European, in Mongol Turic, and Caucasus, different language families. It is a big, big picture of the nations in Russia.
And how is it possible that all over the world people don't know about all those nations? I have a feeling that the level of Russification and unification done for many, many years by the state of Russia has very strong influence on it.
Yes, of course. This Russian empire, noch in time, always make police to press the non-Russians. So why when Lenin claimed that all nations will be equal, a lot of people, non-Russians, came to revolution. But after revolution, where it didn't give us, so this permission was not realized. So it was first time when they were so disappointed. And after in Soviet time, it was the republics were also not the face of Soviet Union. It was face of Soviet Union was no Russians. And this political, this is colonial political. First on, for example, a lot of industrial enterprises and different facilities were not constructed in national republics, especially in the republics which are on the border of the state. For example, in the middle of the state, Bashkortostan, Tatarstan, they have industry, but other republics not, still now. And this tendency will be stronger and stronger. And just now, in last 30 years after Perestroika, in Kalmykia was not built nothing. We stay with our steppe and with self. So of course there are no enterprises, no jobs, no money, and people living this our republic, and our culture, our language also under pressed. For example, when I was children, we could learn our language at school, but now it is not possible. People, parents must be pay for non-obligatory study language, so it is not possible, and a lot of teachers have lost their job. And this is a state, really colonial state. And for example, after Perestroika, we could choose our president in republics. But 2006, it was abolished, the president, and now they named head of republic, and the heads were always appointed by Putin. So we have no choice to our leader, and we have no any kind of democracy, of course, and we have economical and political pressure, colonial, real colonial policy.
I checked that republics and regions make up to 75% of total area of Russia, where 80% of natural resources are extracted.
Yes, so, the natural resources accounted in 60 billion, 60 trillion dollars, which is more than US's $45 million, and Saudi Arabia and Canada 33. So it is really big potential. But all republics are new supplies the natural resources, and we stay with damaged landscape and damage conditions, geographical. So the empire take for us natural resources and also specialists, the people also moving for us. So why the republics are the poorest regions in Russia. Nevertheless, we have a lot big natural resources.
So the natural resources are good for Moscow? But,
yes, of course. This is really endless land resource. I don't know for all. Look, second year war, and Russia has still now a lot of money because of resources. They buy resources. For example, Yamal is supplies 90% of Russian gas. This is autonomic region, yeah, and the diamonds from Republic Sakha, they have 82% of all Russians resources, and so on and so on. So of course, this is a problem why Moscow opposite elite, they don't want to give right for independence for our republics because of the still similar like a Putin's regime, Kremlin regime, they wish to keep these resources.
So all these resources are good for Moscow, but is Moscow beneficial for the republics in any way?
No, no, of course not. It is Moscow, even from our republic, which is not the richest republic between republics, yeah, they take 65% of our taxes. And if this, and for example, big regions, big republics like Tatarstan, they give 75% of taxes, and the Sakha Republic gives 95%. It is approximately, of course, because of there is a different kind of taxes, so it is count together. And if these taxes stay in republic, it would be much better than after this. Moscow collects this untold sum of the money in Moscow, and after this, Moscow decided how many money get Republic, Kalmykia or Tatarstan and so on. So it is oppression, really oppression financial. And I should also say that Russian regions also, the Krasnodar region, for example, also pay more than 70% of taxes to Moscow. Difference between republics and regions are that in republics never were built the industrial enterprises, but in Russian regions, yeah. Why the Russian regions is more better situation because of they have industrial, and colonial police was so planned that, for example, always between republics, where they cut from territory from republics and get some Russian region. For example, before deportation in Stalin deportation, Kalmykia has the common border with Kazakhstan. But at the day when Kalmyk were deported to Siberia in 1843, at that day was founded the Astrakhan region, which is now a small, long territory between Kazakhstan and Kalmykia. So we have no border to Kazakhstan. Sometimes this is 100 kilometers to Kazakhstan from our border. In some places, it's only 20 kilometers to Kazakhstan border. So this is also imperial politics. So we have no, between republics, also some Russian territorium. So we have the same conditions, the same geographical situation. And so, for example, in beginning of 1880s, we tried to get the seaport, built seaport in Kalmykia because we have the shore of the Caspian Sea. But Moscow decided to build this seaport near Astrakhan. Nevertheless, as Astrakhan has already seaport.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crucial importance for Kalmykia because of seaport is big meaning for us the jobs in first line and strategic also. But no, it was not possible. I was at that time very active because of I'm archaeologist and I planned this territorium. I make survey on everything, and we've prepared all documentation, but we don't get this project to Kalmykia.
That was the natural resources and industry. Let's go to climate. I read that in September 2022, there were 20 people from Russia, 20 activists, between them also indigenous activists, who went to the Russian court to challenge actions of President Putin and the government concerning climate justice. Now this case is in the European Rights Court for climate justice. Is the state so bad when it comes to climate justice in Russia?
Yes, of course, yeah. Especially, for example, our Kalmykia has also resources of the oil and gas. For example, our villages, they have oven gas, but nevertheless, they were not, they are conservated because of all communications is now in Siberia. And I know that the oil and gas where the technology is not real modern or not climate neutral. So a lot of territories they poisoned with this oil lakes and gas and so on. And the forests were disappeared from the republic. So republics are not only robbed, they are also stay in bad climate conditions also. And it is healthy for people. And another, for example, another example, in Kalmykia, we need the water, drink water, because of the steppes and semi-desert steppes, our landscape. And we have bank of the Volga. And we'd like to have the Volga water to the cities because of a lot of cities on the Volga have this water used for this water for drinking. But Moscow decided that we should build some water pipeline from Stavropol to the Kalmykia and pay for water in Stavropol. And Kalmykia said, we have no money to pay for the water. We have free water in Volga. Please let us build the water pipeline from Volga. But they told, okay, Moscow will pay for Republic for this water, but you must have this water pipeline. This is double depends. You see, we depend from Stavropol region for our water, and we depend from Moscow for our paying for water. So it is no decision real for us for benefit of Moscow government. Never think about people and our local problems.
On the profile of Voices of Nations, I found this statement. I will read it. I think it's a very strong statement. We, the representatives of the indigenous peoples of Russia, living in free democratic countries of Europe, have united to become the voice of our small nations locked up in the Russian prison of nations. Our goal is to become ambassadors, the voice of our peoples deprived of the right to freedom of speech, who are citizens of Russia but de facto colonized non-Russians, who are often not considered their own by ethnic Russians. So our people suffer not only from the imperial policy of the Putin's regime, but also from the everyday racist mindset of Russians and other white people on our own land, the land of our ancestors, once enslaved by the Russian Empire with fire and sword. Our movement, Voice of Indigenous Peoples of Russia, aims to draw the attention of the global community to the catastrophic situation of a number of indigenous nations and the threat of their complete extinction. The struggling Ukraine frees not only itself from enslavement, but also sheds light on another aspects of the disgusting manifestation of imperial consciousness in Russia itself. The moment has come that cannot be missed in order to free ourselves from the colonial past and realize the facto right to self-determination of all the peoples of Russia. This will save all nations, including Russians, from colonialism, oppression, and miserable existence. This was a very strong statement when I read it. And then I was thinking about this last 2 years of the full invasion of Russia to Ukraine. And we were here in Europe hearing a lot about mobilization for army and then unequal mobilization between Russians and non-ethnic Russians. Can you tell me a bit about it? Was it really so unequal?
It really, it was at the beginning of the war. We not Russians, we all feeling our old wound because of the invasion and aggression against the Ukrainian was the same like our history. 200 years, 300 years ago, Russians also again the same way colonized our lands. So it was some kind of the wound was open again, the old wound. And then, of course, we are solidarity with Ukrainian, not from Russian aggressor. And the second new wound was this wound, was this disproportional mobilization. As the September started the mobilization, and we have seen that only non-Russians mobilized really by force. The people come to the village and take all men. And for example, in Siberia, in Sakha Republic, in the small villages where live the hunter and fisher, they came with a helicopter to take from 12 men in the village 6, yeah. So it was really unhuman because of our ethnicity is so not so numerous. And still now nobody died in Moscow, but in Republic Buryatia is 1,000. In our republic is hundreds of people died already, young men which mobilized by force. Nobody will go self. And was we at that time we was organized. It was my first protest. We organized one protest in near Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, in center of Berlin. And after this, I participated and organized a few protests, and it was the first one, and it was very important for me. At that time, I have understand I cannot stay in the site, and I cannot help to refuse to help my folk, my people, my Kelmic nation, and other nations also.
What if Kalmykia is independent from Russia? How would it look like?
I think this is a big problem when came this moment when we can't get our independence again. There is a this is third moment to third time already. After revolution, 1918 year, it was two movement in Kalmykia from revolution from Red Army people, Kalmyks, and from our aristocratic old elite. The both were together because we wanted to be to get autonomic region, to be separate. But this movement didn't get success. Very symbolic. Symbolic. It was that Ukrainian Cossack elite leader Skoropadsky, Ataman Skoropadsky. He has supported this movement of Kalmyks at that time. And the leader of our Danzan Tundutov was died after this. And in beginning of 1881, when Soviet Union was fall, and 15 republics, 14 republics became independent, our republic also was a big movement, people's movement, really. We have get a lot of meetings, and we discuss a lot at that time, and we write also the document about independence and give sent to Moscow. But in 1994 began the Russian-Chechenian war, and our republic is very close to Chechenian, to North Caucasus, and a lot of people came to us, people which have no money to go to other regions because of Kalmykia, of course, not the best choice for us. Nevertheless, a lot Chechenian were buyers. All the wolves, all the dogs from Chechenian after war also come to our Kalmyk steppes. It was sometimes very dangerous because these dogs were wild, but they not afraid from light. It was for cattle breed, it was some catastrophic. And so, of course, this is events make us still now. So, and our president told about independence. Now is moratorium. We take a pause. And after this, perestroika is come, but then Putin and the democracy was always every day to switch on, switch off, always smaller, and all democratic freedoms were finished. And of course, now we have again, I guess, one chance to be independent. Independent is not really some ambitions. Independence is necessary for our republics, because of only independence can give us possibility to survive as a people. Of course, in our republic, people have houses and have food and have clothes. They can live now, but like a ethnicity, like a nation. So we are not surviving the so big land. And also, people said maybe that new federation, new democracy. But you know, we were in some tradition already. On this tradition, this is imperial mindset. It is not possible to break up without independence. Because of when we stay in a so-called good federation, but nevertheless, this is mindset will influence, and we will stay again colony. Maybe we get one, two advantages, but not more. It is Russia must be became again small because of new then the ethnic Russian also must get new view of world, that are the Russians not the higher than other nations. The Russians is equal. This the same nation as the other nations. So it is very difficult now to understand for people with imperial or colonial mindset. But nevertheless, without understanding this, without understanding the whole history of colonization of Russia, without understanding of the responsibility, historical responsibility for the deportation, for genocide, for colonial Geschichte, history, it was not possible to move further. The Moscow also, Moscow will not have a good future if Moscow will not understand these things, will not analyze again, and said, and will not agree with independence as a nations. This is also good for well and good for not Russians and for Russians, because of this is really opens the door to the democratic and nice future if they finish this colonial history and became again well and good, because of only democracy. Democracy is not possible without oppression of stop to oppression of other nations. This is very simple, but it is very difficult to understand all people. Sometimes there is both sides. Sometimes the Moscow people could not understand this, but sometimes the people which suffering from colonial policy, they also sometimes not understand why this suffering, why our regions is so poor. People ask me, and when I explain, they look so very surprised, because of they never think about this.
They never saw it this way. And you actually answered my next question. So I will now jump. I see on the chat we have a question, and I also would like to encourage other people who listen to us. If you have any questions, that's the right moment to ask. So Jerome is asking, what is the general language spoken in Kalmykia?
Our language is Mongol, West Mongolian, because of Mongol language has different kind of dialects, I told. And we are the West Mongolian dialect. These people has Oirat.
But you call it Kalmyk language, right?
No, because of our folk was named in Russia Kalmyks, so it is Kalmyk language, but actually it's this Mongol language. When I was in Beijing at 2019, I was a lecturer in make lectures for students in Beijing, and a lot of Mongol students come to me, and they were from from North Mongolia, from Mongolia, and from Inner Mongolia. And we could speak without problem. I don't need to understand Chinese. I have a lot of my Mongol students and speak with my native language with them.
Could you say greetings to Jerome in Kalmyk language, just that we can hear the sound of it?
Pardon?
Can you say greetings in Kalmyk language, just that we can hear how it sounds?
I can say some proverb, for example. Or изилан темцхле хор темен газарчы. Инган тецхле хор нүден газарчы. This is meaning when you will get your river Volga, which is very important river for Kalmyks, for Oirat Kalmyks, then you need to help of 2 camels. And if you will get meet with your lovely person, you need only your eyes, twice, 2 camels and twice.
Somebody also asks, is the language actually used in public life? Unfortunately, in most autonomous republics, it is not, and Russian is very, very dominant.
Yes, this is unfortunately is so, but You know, I'm optimistic in this case because of I remember that my grandmother and grandfather didn't understand Russian really. My parents could speak already Russian, but nevertheless, we children have we speak better than our parents, and our children now, not new generations, they could not speak Kelmic. So it is in the two generations can change. So I think when we will be independent, we can again survive our language. But I'm speaking, and now it is so big interest to surviving of our language. I have 4 chats where I speak people gathering more than 1,000 people gathering together to speak Kelmic from all world around. Yeah. So I am optimistic. It is language is still alive, and identity also very still alive. And a lot of young people come to me and told, "Oh, we heard." One girl said me, "When I heard you speaking Kelmic, I began to cry." So it is so important for people, and young people also, because of I guess they have a lot of young people in Kalmykia is very educated because of I don't know, maybe Buddhist people perfect themselves, you know. So very many educated people, they have good job, maybe not in Kalmykia, but also good job, good family, everything good, but they need yeah, it missed the identity for themselves, you see. So the young people then need this.
Maria, we have some longer question. It's not easy for me to read it at the same time and listen to you. So let's go through this together. Hello, thank you for your interesting presentation. Russian Federal Parliament is contemplating denouncing the Council of Europe Framework Convention on the Protection of National Minorities. Currently, it is still a state party to the convention, though no part of the Council of Europe. How do you consider this change, and do you have other ideas of how to support, how to continue supporting the economic, cultural, and political rights of indigenous people and national minorities in Russia on the international fora? And to you, what is the biggest challenge your people is facing? Is it employment, structural discrimination, language? Thank you very much.
Yes, this is very bad, I think. But you see, this policy of ignoring of the nations in Russia, it started at the Putin time, and before, I guess it 2012, it was some rule that all international jurisdiction is not first, second place, and Russian jurisdiction is first place. So more important. It was very big fail of the democracy, and so this last last about minorities, this is rule. It is the in this logical continuum of this policy. And I can't say only one, to save our nations, our minorities, because of it is also difference. For example, republics, title nations of republics, were nations, and the minorities, ethnic minorities, which live in our republics, for which have no statehood. For example, in Republic Sakha-Yakutia, living also Even and Evenks, they are minorities. They have no own republic. So we all together, nevertheless, these ethnic minorities live together with non-Russian nations on the same territories. So only one decision can save all our nations and ethnic minorities. Only independence. because of when we have our independence, we are right in this land. Within our face is also right in this population, and we have everything. And when one nation gets its own statehood, it's influenced all aspects, from healthy, from education, music, and child care of child, and so on. People will more happy because they have a state where they are first and important, because of in Russia we always second quality of population, maybe not second, maybe third. This is a good a sign. For example, the Moscow opposition elite never said, never talk about. They talk everything about Putin, about Ukrainian, about all things, but not about our nations. Never. Khodorkovsky, for example, never said about us. Only threatened us that not disparate nationalists will be died, must be died. For example, he told so, but never told about our culture. They don't know us. They don't know our names. For example, Ilya Ponomarev, he's only one deputy was against the annexation of the Crimea. He's very famous in this case, and he's not so radical in the imperial mindset, but nevertheless, he named cannot speak real correct name of the people. For example, state Erzya nation, he told Yerzya. It is also so disappointed for us. We are also people. Why? For Russians, we are not real people. So why is this disproportionate mobilization? Because of not Russian, it is not pity us to send to the death.
We have one more question, and let it be the last one for now. Is there already some noticeable underground movement towards independence in Kalmykia itself, or is this for now restricted to Kalmyks in exile?
No, it's not restricted on Kalmyks in exile, of course. First one, it is there's a very different. Only in Kalmykia there is different groups of the people which wish the best future for our people, for our nation. And of course, we different from our ideas and so on. But there is also in Kalmykia movement, and of course, for example, in exile, in abroad, we can be more radical. We can speak more free. But the people in Kalmykia, for example, make some other movements and discuss the problems which are not so political. But nevertheless, I know all times the part of people always think about independence, always think how we can survive in this big land. It is not possible, especially the national policy was so crucial, colonial. So, of course, it's not one people or very restricted group of people.
And I know that you are supporting your people and people who managed to leave Russia and the mobilization. Is there any way we can support you in doing this?
Supporting, there is a lot of maybe possibilities, but I don't know what. For example, I'm just now returned from this 8th forum from free nations, free states of post-Russia. It is some kind of platform, some kind of think tank for all people. In of this forum, we meet people for federalization, for independence, and all people speak have this forum gives a word on the floor for these people. But I have noticed that technical, it is not special equipment for record the voices, to record the video. So I thought maybe we need to sponsor the money for this forum, to buy this equipment, some completely equipment, because of this forum is always in different cities. For example, now it was in Paris and Rome, or in London. Next time in Berlin and London, in Rome. So sorry, and it was my wish to help this forum with technical equipment. I don't think this is very expensive. It must not be very big, because of always not more than 50 person speaker. So this is like a classroom.
I saw the Instagram account of the 3 nations of post Russia.
Yes.
I also would like to encourage everybody to check the Instagram account Voices of Nations. I think you can find a lot of updated information, and if you have questions, you can go and send them and stay in touch with different activists in Europe doing good work to spread information that there is a lot of nations out there in the territory of Russia that we are never hearing about. Maria Ochir-Goryaeva was my guest today. Thank you so much, Maria. If anybody of our listeners would have more questions or would like to follow up some of the topics, please just send us a message. I'm very happy to put you in touch with Maria. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much for you and listeners for attention.
Thank you.